Hello, welcome to the Ant-Man channel. On this, I'm probably gonna have to guess because I didn't do my research on what day it is today. I've got distractions here. Here's my little distraction. Say hello, Nana. Say hello. Um, let's see. If I had a guess, it'd be October 5th? No. Yeah. Um, I was wrong. It is the 4th. It is Sunday, the 4th of August, 2013, and this is the Ant-Man channel. Thank you for joining me today. I have an article in front of me from ClashDaily.com with Doug Giles. And this article is entitled Sex Obsessed America. Why is Anthony's wiener so important? And I'll just get right into this. Everywhere I go, I see sex. It's on billboards, storefront windows, the way women dress or don't dress on television. In the movies, it's on my computer screen. It's to the point where I need a special software tool just to keep it from popping up. No pun intended. To someone on the outside of America looking in, it would appear that sex owns America. Well, why do you think the Muslims hate us so much? The Muslims hate us, dude, because we're so perverted. And I mean, we are. Everything is sex to us. Everything revolves around sex. I remember when girls actually wore skirts over their leggings. Whenever I see a chick wearing leggings, I'm like, put on clothes. You know, it's like you're practically naked. So why then are we surprised at the rise and fall and rise again of Anthony and his wiener? I'm sitting here in an internet cafe, and when somebody walks in, I glance up just to make sure they're not pointing a gun at me. And I have to admit that most of the women who walk in here are dressed quite modestly. I really don't believe most women want to get into Anthony Weiner's pants. Of course, some men like to fantasize that women want them, but it's just not true. Let's face it, most rapists are men. Well, yeah, who gets to have sex? It's the woman who says we get to have sex or not. And if the guy says who gets to have sex, it's called rape. On the other hand, sex sells. That can't be debated. Men, have you ever wondered why so many strangers are interested in the size of your package? Come on, give me a break here. I don't want a nutritional, all-natural supplement to make her happy and give her the size she deserves. That's just gross. But people wouldn't be making and marketing this snake oil unless men were buying it. I once read an article about a study claiming that men think about sex every 7 seconds. That's absurd. Truth be told, I'll be 56 next month, and sometimes I go as long as 47 seconds without thinking it. After all, how would men get anything done? I'm guessing the study was conducted primarily in Washington, D.C. He brings up this is by Skip Correll. Sorry, I didn't say who wrote this article before, but yeah, Steve Correll is right. Would we be getting anything done if all we thought about was sex? Oh wait, all we do is think about sex, so there isn't anything getting done. Oh, he's right. Let's see. I once read an article about a study claiming that men. Oh yeah, I just read that. Of course, when I was younger, I thought about it more often. Of course, we all did. I remember thinking I am so looking forward to old age when my sex drive calms down. Unfortunately, no other men are brave enough or stupid enough to admit this, so I'll look like a total sex fiend when this article comes out. In one of my older and bolder books, Laughter and Tears, Living Both Sides of Life, I make the following statement. I used to think about sex a lot more than when I was younger, but not as much now. I always hated the fixation and would struggle to think about other things, but it was primarily a losing battle. In my younger days, especially my 20s, I think I could actually feel the hormones physically coursing through my veins, taking control, raging within, threatening to override any rational thought. It was almost like I had two heads, the big head on top of my shoulders and the little head down below my waist. Being in the Marine Corps, I sometimes took a military approach to my life. I gave the little head a name, Sergeant Johnson, and every morning Sergeant Johnson would wake up and snap to attention, give me that big one-eyed salute and say, "Good morning, sir, permission to take the helm." So there you have it. I'm a sleazy pervert. So what's the difference between Skip Coryell and Anthony Weiner? Just one thing. I tell Sergeant Johnson to stand down, and Anthony Weiner, that I guess that name just kills me every time I type it, does the opposite. He sees his weakness and he pumps it up and gives it more power. Instead of starving the beast, he continues to feed it. Newsflash, this just in. Anthony Weiner, Sergeant Johnson, had just received orders to raid, pillage, and plunder, to conduct online conquests, to tweet his tush, and to Facebook his phallus film at 11. Now let's just think about this for a moment. Do you think, just maybe even a little bit, that America might be getting out of control? Is sex the be all and end all of life on earth? Is sex the primary reason for our existence and the heart and soul of the human race? Have we become total slaves of the sexual act? Answer, turn on the television and see for yourself. I have a 17-year-old son, and I shudder to think about the confusion going on in his head about sex and his reason for existing. Everything around him, all the images, the values, the immorality, they pound at me. Do it. Do it now. Everyone's doing it. It's healthy. It's fun. It's good for you. Ha ha ha. Of course it is. And this is a 2-page column. Let me see if I have time to read it. Oh yeah, I've been getting through this pretty quickly, so I guess I will read it. It's not that long. Call me a prude, but I disagree. I was discouraged and overwhelmed by this whole parenting thing a few weeks ago, so I tried something new. I sat my son down and forced him to have a Bible study with me. Go ahead, call Child Protective Services. Make my day. I was surprised at what I learned about my own son. He actually wants to do the right thing. Duh, little kids want to be good. When I was a little kid, I had a natural instinct to want to be a good person. I think everybody does. But what kills it is that there are bad parents out there that totally destroy their will and their morality. They totally demoralize them because they're mean and they don't teach them anything good. And so you have kids growing up in America. I think I read a statistic the other day that kids are getting they know about sex by the age of like 8 or something like that now. That's freaking crazy. I didn't know anything about sex. When I was a little kid, I used to think that feet were kind of, they aroused me. And I was like, is that weird? I used to think like, am I a weird person because I get turned on by feet? I used to really think that when I was a little kid. I was like, am I something wrong with me? But now when I think about it, I mean, if you open up the book of Psalms, the book of the song, I think it's the Song of Solomon. Someone, if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. The Song of Solomon chapter 28 begins with, "Oh, how beautiful your sandaled feet." Yeah, man. I mean, it's not wrong, but just like everything else on the human body, it's attractive. There are attractive features on women, and yeah, we are controlled by sex. But anyway, let me get back into this. Yeah, we're all tempted by sex. We all are. But the control and discipline is what separates the men from the boys. But anyways, let me get back into this. He actually wants to do the right thing, but the world has confused him to the point where he's not sure of right and wrong. He wants to be a man, but he's not certain what a real man is. He looks at me and sees something different than the rest of society, so it confuses him. Perhaps, if I'd been teaching him better all along, he'd be less confused about manhood and morality. And maybe that's the lesson here. We can't change Anthony Weiner and probably shouldn't even try. The man is soulless and lost. But we can change our sons and daughters. There is still time and hope for the ones we love. Just reach around and pull your head out of your electric device of choice and re-engage with your family. My dogs are going crazy. Question: why is Anthony Weiner so important? Answer: because it's a glaring example of how far we've fallen as a country and as a species. Anthony's wiener is the proverbial canary in the mine shaft, and we as a nation had better wake up and smell the mustard and ketchup before it's too late. Fall off the wiener wagon. Jump if you have to. Man, instead of bopping your secretary, come home and make love to your wife. Play parcheesi with your kids or just throw the ball around. Just tell Anthony and his wiener to go pound sand. Tell Sergeant Johnson to stand down if need be. Demote him to Private Johnson. We have more important things to talk about, like our families. Absolutely. Thank God for this guy Skip Corio, because he actually uses his brain. I mean, what is wrong with Americans? The answer to that is exactly what he said. Turn on the television and all you see is sex. Even the little kids are like, little girls on Disney Channel are like, waving their hips around, acting cute and promiscuous all the time, and it's like, that is so ugly to me. Like, why is a little girl trying to act all sassy and sexy for? Like, you're just provoking men to be pedophiles. And, like, it's really, like, that's really disgusting. And little kids these days, they don't have any, like, they don't have real parents these days. Real parents, they actually read books. And, when you were a little kid and you used to coin the word grown-ups, and then you wake up and then you realize there are no grown-ups. A lot of grown-ups these days aren't even really grown-ups. They're kids yelling for help. They're yelling for something better than what they're used to being surrounded by or what they're in bondage to. You can tell. I mean, it's a sad thing. And I think, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail for this. And if you want my email, it's antman.ml@gmail.com. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail for this, but I don't care. I think it's the truth. I'm almost thinking twice about saying this right now. But the gay community makes everything about sex. Everything. Why am I picking on the gay community? Because they always have to put their nose in our business too. Like, gay people suing, all kinds of Christians all the time for things that, I think people don't understand what separation of church and state even means anymore. I think they just try to use it as it's just like the Constitution and the American flag. It used to stand for something that was a standard of what we are as human beings. But now it's like, out with the old, in with the new. So it's like whatever it means now is what it really means. And there is no history in it. Everybody is just like if I wanted to say, for example, this magazine wasn't created by who really created it. It was created by me because there's no one around to object to that. It's the same thing. It's like people are so stupid and ignorant nowadays is that they think that their deluded thoughts are actually real. And it's like, man, there's a lot of mental illness out there, in my opinion. A lot of grown men out there that they still act like they're in high school. And it's like, it's because, dude, we don't have real role models in this country anymore. Our role models are on the TV. They're having sexual affairs with everybody. That's the cool thing to do nowadays. It's to have a wife and to cheat on her all the time. I noticed that in our society that is what people are attracted to, is juicy juiciness. Just what does the Bible call it? Lasciviousness? Lasciviousness? I don't know how to really say it, but I know what it means. It means like all you're about is sex. All you're about is what's on the surface. All you're about is what you can see with your eyes and not with your heart, man. It's a really pathetic and disgusting thing. I like sex just like everyone else, don't get me wrong. I am prone to it and I am tempted by it just as much as everybody else. But the difference between me and people that I see around me is that I can control it. Other people, they don't control it. I know people that will have sex with anybody just for the fact that they can have sex. Just because they can have sex, they will go and do it. And it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, there's no self-control in society anymore. I had to delete a whole bunch of people off my Facebook today because I missed church today. And I am a leader at my church. And it really discourages me that I miss church because it's like, what am I doing with myself? I can admit this openly because I'm like that. I'm an honest person. I like the fact that I'm an honest person. I have nothing to hide. I'm not going to lie. Lying is pathetic, in my opinion. If you have to lie for no reason, that just shows you how much you're living in fear. But it really gets to me when I go on Facebook and I see somebody post something like, I'm really good at not giving an F. I had to delete him. I'm like, you know what, man? It's so easy to be a coward. It's so easy to give up when you've never even tried. It's so easy to live in the world and be totally perverted by it. If I was with it, what is the thing people say nowadays? The business or something. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but if I knew the business and I was with it, I would be as stupid and perverted as everyone I see around me. And that's pretty pathetic, dude. Like, I mean, where are we? It just boggles my mind that sex is so important. I mean, I can see why, but it's like, isn't there something more important than just fucking? Excuse my language, man. It boggles my mind. It really does. I guess if you were me and, I guess I should just be private about my sexual endeavors, but I've done that. I've been there. I'm not talking from a standpoint of some loser that has never been laid. Okay, that's not me at all. Okay, women have come and gone like the money in my wallet. They've come and gone like, you know, like any other thing in the world that comes and goes. It comes and it goes, man. Why would you invest yourself into something that it just comes and goes all the time? You know, I guess you have to have experienced it for yourself to know how really, you know, it's a beautiful thing that God has given us, man, to be able to produce and recreate and and reproduce, I mean, and you know, it's a beautiful thing. But do it right. Do it to honor God. Marry whoever you love, and then make love to them all you want, and have babies all you want. But now it's like kids are like, oh, I grow up just to be everything is centered around sex. Little kids think that everything is centered around sex because that's what they see. All of us grown-ups, quote unquote, we're all obsessed with it. So of course our kids, what are we? We're human beings. How do we learn? By seeing an example. We don't learn anything on our own. We learn by seeing somebody else do something in front of us. Monkey see, monkey do. And we're not monkeys, but even if, but if you do believe in evolution and that we're monkeys and all that, you might as well be you're already living like an animal, right? I mean, why not? I mean, I should get, 100 piercings on my face. I should get 100 tattoos on my face because we're animals, right? No, you guys. I want to take just a second to say this, that there is more to life than just having sex with people, man. There is more to life than just having affairs with other people. If that's all that drives you, you need to look in the mirror, man. You need to go, hey, what am I doing? What the hell are we doing on this planet that's revolving around the sun? You know what I mean? What are we doing? It's obviously not just to have sex and to teach our children to be perverts, man. I mean, it's really not what we're here to do. But I don't even have kids, and I don't really even have I guess a lot of people would be like, well, what nerve you have to be telling me how to raise kids? And, that's true. I don't have kids. I don't know what raising kids is like. But when I look around, I just see everybody is like a child to me, everybody. And it's just sad because children, I mean, our society we get taught in school, in public school, to just be sociopaths. We're just sociopaths trying to impress other people that don't give a damn about us. That's what your entire viewpoint and perspective of the world is to impress other people. And that's why I see people that get pregnant when they're like 12. It's because it's like, that's your entire viewpoint of what life is about. I grow up to have sex, and that's all there is to it. And then I get to live in a house and take care of kids and have sex all I want. You know what I mean? It's like, sex is cool, dude, and I see why people get so enslaved by it. But there is so much more to life than just having sex, you guys. I'm already over on my time limit. Sorry I went on a rant about how perverted we are as Americans. There's no wonder why Muslim terrorists want to come and murder us, dude. There really isn't. To me, to take advantage of the freedom and liberty that we have like that in this country, it's gross, dude. I had told somebody the other day, I'd rather be poor. I'd rather live on the street than I mean, it's easier said than done, but I wouldn't care if I was on the street and poor, because from what I see around me and the way people live their lives, I don't want to have any part of it, man. I really don't. And it's easier said than done because, man, I get bored and I go and I have a drink sometimes. So shoot me, you know what I mean? I know you atheists like to use the Ten Commandments to point it right back at me. But let me tell you guys something like the guy that I deleted off my Facebook today about, oh, I'm so good at not giving a damn. Oh, you're so good at being talentless idiot, I guess. But let me tell you something about the Bible, man. You're all dead in your sins. You're dead already. You can have as much fun and party all you want, but you're dead already, man. You're dead whether you're saved, and you're dead whether you're not. So, I mean, I would really think about that for all you guys out there. We're taking a test right now. Life is a test. And if you don't take it as a test, you're just passing away with everyone else. You're not going to be remembered for anything. I went to a funeral not too long ago, and it's freaking creepy because people don't even know what they're doing at a funeral. You're there to mourn, and they're like, it's so weird. What am I doing here? It's weird. Well, yeah, you're here to mourn for your dead relative. But what I noticed is that life goes on when you're dead. Nobody cares. Let's just be honest. Nobody cares, man. People that love you care, but the world keeps turning, man. And if you want to be remembered for being a pervert and a scumbag, you're not going to be remembered at all. Nobody remembers people like that. You know what I mean? Nobody. So just take some time to think about that, man. All you guys out there. And I'm no better than you. I'm just saying that we need to focus. We need to be held accountable for these things, man, in society nowadays. We can't just be running around in our sins thinking that it's cute. It's not cute. It's going to come back to us one day. And you can already see that happening right now. Look at our freaking president, man. That's freaking proof right there that we're on a highway straight to hell. Anyways, I love all of you guys. Subscribe to my channel. I usually, I never even talk about things like this, but I know people love to hear stuff like this. But anyways, just subscribe to my channel. Love you all. Have a good and blessed day.